Alderman Sedona. We met up at Love Bayou at Sean's place in Shaker Square. Joe was especially interested in learning about meditation, so I gave him my normal meditation spiel, which I'm going to give to you right now.
Well, before we go to that, you mentioned something about you and your beautiful so let's look
Okay.
Switch.
I love looking at her. Oh God, yes. And that is us accepting the Bobo Award. Boy, you
Make it big.
radiant.
Yes,
I
as big as
mean
it'll
that
get.
in
Huh?
all
That's
of
And
it.
it.
I say, and you look
Huh?
down there.
You're welcome.
Oh.
I had to do something with
Yes.
it. Yeah, that was so wonderful.
Yes.
We really, really appreciate it.
And the dress I have on there, I have on right now. I made that dress.
Yes.
Yes.
And I made it. At any rate. Now, Joe was especially interested in meditation. He wanted to learn to meditate. And he heard that I could teach, which I can. But I need to give you the same skill I gave him about meditation. 1974, I finished nursing school. I was finished with my RN training at St. Louis Municipal School of Nursing. That's Homer G. Phillips and City Hospital under one nursing school combined into one nursing school. I was working the 11 to 7 shift in the hospital ER of Homer G. Phillips. And my band, Jabon, was performing regularly. We opened for George Clinton and the P-Funk All-Stars at several venues. And I was under the mistaken illusion that I needed a BA degree in order to go to medical school. And I was dead set on going to medical school. I originally came into nursing school with the idea that I'd be a nurse in exodus. But it didn't take me but a few weeks to realize that was not going to be my future. I wanted to go to medical school and get my MD. So I thought that I had to have a bachelor's degree. And I wanted to take a double major in biology and psychology. And I realized, well, that's going to take a whole lot more focus, energy, and persistence than I had access to at the moment. So, one morning, about 8 in the morning, I just left the emergency room after giving the report and had went over to my car, parked in front of the nurse's dorm, and I wanted to clean it out because a whole lot of stuff had accumulated during the week that I was traveling around performing. So I pulled out an old newspaper from a St. Louis suburb called University City, and on the front page of this newspaper was an article for Transcendental Meditation. It said, need more focus, energy, and perseverance? And I responded to myself, yes, I do. Well, I noticed that they stated that this transcendental meditation was not staring at a flame or emptying your mind or any of the other things that people would play soft music or listen to drums or bowls, make tones in bowls. All of those things are great, but they are not what I refer to as meditation. I refer to transcendental meditation as meditation because this meditation allows your conscious mind to be exposed to your unconscious mind. Transcendental meditation allows you a path that goes from your conscious, everyday thinking mind to the mind that holds all of your knowledge, memories, and observations of reality. That was what interested me. And to shorten this story, I went to an introductory,
Switch.
yes, I went to an introductory introductory lecture, and then learned meditation, which launched me into a much more focused, energetic being. The first time I meditated, I took off, and I did not sleep for at least 2 or 3 days. Period. Didn't need to. I had took so much energy, it was just ridiculous. I figured, I thought, this was exactly what I needed to go and do this double major and go on after that to medical school and be successful. I felt empowered and imbued with energy and a focus that I had never experienced before in my life. I was so pleased. I went out to Webster College. It's now Webster University. And I went there because it's the arts college. They had their own performance theater called the Loretta Hilton Theater. It was built by Conrad Hilton, the guy who started Hilton Hotel, Paris Hilton's granddad. All of the singers, musicians, actors, dancers, folks who wanted to be cameramen, or anybody who wanted to be in show business or entertainment, that was the school to go to in the St. Louis area. I got out there, and on the day of registration, I was so pleased with my choice of Webster University, because as I walked to the registration area, I noticed that the arts line for those people who wanted to get into the arts, which Webster was famous for, went all the way around the building, down the street, and it had at least, I guarantee you, at least 25 or 30 people that I knew had performed with, had played with, and we were howling and everybody cheering on. As I walked over to the 8-person line for science, and I was number 5. Oh yeah. As I got closer and closer to the attractive blonde woman who was sitting at the table we were lined up in front of, taking our registration information, I became more and more excited. But just as the guy in front of me sat down, little short, stubby guy with golden brown beard and hair, though he was bald in the middle, came over to the woman who was taking our information and whispered something in her ear, to which she nodded, and he left. Okay, after about another 5, maybe 6 minutes, the guy who was in front of me stepped out of his chair, stood up, and shook the hand of the woman that had just registered him and turned and walked away. Unfortunately, the woman who had taken his information turned and walked right behind him. I'm going, wait a minute, hold on, what? Just then, the guy with the golden beard and the golden hair walked over and said to me, take a seat, sir. We will fix you up in a jiffy. Well, I sat down, gave him my registration card that contained all my vital data, and sat back to answering questions. The golden guy said, oh, so you're an RN? Yes, sir, I replied. I work 11 to 7 at Homie G. Phillips' emergency room. Wow, he said softly. I believe I've seen you on TV. Yeah. And you're a musician too? Okay. Homie G. Phillips Hospital emergency room at that time was the busiest emergency room in the state of Missouri. And it was often the scene of news, television, reporters and cameras when something bad happened, or when something good happened, or when anything that was emergent occurred. They came with their cameras to ER, and generally, since I worked 11 to 7, that was the shift where most of all the crap happened, 11 to 7. So I was on television, especially in spring and summer, about maybe once or sometimes twice a week. So yes, he could most definitely see me. And you are a musician. Yes, sir, I explained Jabon and what we were about. Jabon was the band that I formed in St. Louis, Jabon, just a bunch of Negroes. Yeah. That's what Jabon stood for. We toured all over Missouri, Indiana, Illinois, well, just a few counties in Indiana, mainly Missouri and Illinois. Okay. And he asked me after I explained Javon and what we were about, he stated, and you want to get a double major in biology and psychology? That's going to take a lot of time, focus, and energy, he responded. I laughed. I thought exactly the same thing. So I went and learned transcendental meditation, which has given me more energy and focus than I know what to do with. So I'm here to do something with it. I was hyped out. I was really, really hyped. This guy looked at me, sat back, looked at me, and said, "You did, huh? Did they give you a mantra?" A mantra. A mantra is a word or phrase that you use to transcend your consciousness. It can't have any meaning for you. So it has to be given to you from someone outside of you. It can't be a word that's already in your mind. It has to be a different word that you have never got a meaning for. And for that reason, it is generally in a foreign language. You say the mantra and you think it. You say it one time, and there's only one time I have ever said my mantra out loud, and that was 20 some odd years ago when they taught it to me. You say your mantra, and then you think it. Then you think it so. Then you think it so. And believe it or not, you actually get to the point where you are not thinking the mantra, you're simply thinking the idea of the mantra. As you think the mantra, you will be imbued with lots of memories and images of your past life, and they will be images and memories that you recorded in the past when you were, again, in the past. You were younger. For example, one of my first meditations, I had a revealing meditation about an event that happened to me when I was a child. I was walking to grade school, elementary school, which is only about a block away, Turner School. And I used to walk down my alley to the end of the street, take a left turn, and the school was right across the street. But right on the corner was a yard that had a young dog in it that I used to love to tease every morning on my way to work. I'm not going to work, where to school. I would tease the dog until he had the fence, and I got to the corner where he had no more fence. One day, I'm teasing the dog, and I'm teasing the dog, and I'm walking along the fence, and I get to the place where the gate is, and the gate, which is normally locked, is open. I run past this open gate, and this dog comes out the gate and takes a hunk out of my hip, and I fall down on the ground, and I am in pain and bleeding, and they take me on over to the school, and the nurse tends to me and gives me a bandage, and this is what I remember. When I went into meditation, I saw exactly what happened. What happened was, number one, the dog was about this high. I'm serious. And when the dog bit me, the dog just nipped at my pants on my left thigh, and he scratched the skin underneath. When I got to the school and went to the nurse's office. The nurses looked at it, told me to pull down my pants. I pulled down my pants. She wiped it with alcohol, put a band-aid on, and said, leave. When's the last time you had a lockjaw shot? Now, I had just had one like maybe 2 or 3 years before. My head had gotten busted by my brother. Uh, but I saw what actually happened with my adult mind, not the childish images that I put into my memory. That's how transcendental meditation works. Now, he asked me, this golden gentleman asked me, did they give you a mantra? I said, yes, they did. They did. Let me see if I can guess it, he responded. Now, he took a blank card from a stack of cards that was on the table, looked first at me, then stared up in the air, and then started writing on the card. Then he put the card face down in front of me, and I picked the card. Ah! This is my mantra! This is my damn mantra! How did this man know my mantra? What I didn't know was that when Maharishi Mahesh Yogi first came to this country, Maharishi, I'm sorry, Mahesh Yogi, first came to this country, accompanied the Beatles, more musicians, our government was not too kindly disposed to this transcendental meditation thing. So they got 5 of the best scientists in America to investigate and give them a report on this thing called transcendental meditation. What I did not understand is that one of the people that they chose to investigate transcendental meditation was head of the physics department at Washington University in St. Louis. I did not know that he was also head of the whole science department at Webster College. His name was Dr. Alexander Calandra, and that's who I was sitting across the table. That's him. That's my boy. Now, he became my advisor, mentor, and co-writer as we authored at least 2 different articles about the effects of transcendental meditation. He also wrote one of my letters of recommendation to medical school, and he is one of the reasons I was accepted to attend Harvard, Howard, Washington University, and the University of Kentucky School of Medicine. I chose UK because Roots had just played on TV, and my father had been born in Kentucky. We're going to talk more about this at a later place and time. Artie, that's the people get ready. Mick, do we have people get ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a wonderful thing. Because I had to quickly get ready for what was coming at me. Because I was chosen to be one of 12 Alkebulanese students at the University of Kentucky School of Medicine. Now, before that time, the most Alkebulanese students that had been admitted to their School of Medicine was 3. 3. We had the largest class, and I was the oldest member of the class. Again, I had been in the Army. I had my nursing degree. I had 2 degrees from college, one in biology and one in psychology. And as soon as I got to UK, they wanted to make me president of the Student National Medical Association, which is all the Alkebulanese, all the non-Pink medical students in any medical school. But I told them no, since I just got there, I wanted to try to learn what this place was about before I started telling folks what to do. So I became secretary of the National Student National Medical Association until the next year, and the year after that, and the year after that, when I was president. I had to get ready to teach a whole new lesson to people about achievement. And just like Avancera, I had to put myself in the picture. I had to get ready to do that. And believe me, it took some effort. Nick, can you play People Get Ready for?
Yeah.
I sure appreciate it, bro. Because just like I had to get ready for that, y'all got to get ready for what is coming down the pipe from me and from your nation.
Okay.
Mankind is getting ready to meet.
Can you switch?
Play the video. Close that.
I'm trying.
People get ready, change is coming. Don't know happening. People get ready.
You don't need no baggage, you just
Get on board. All is faith.
You don't need no ticket, you just
Thank the Lord.
Ooh, 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 ooh. People get ready. Picking up passengers,
Coast to coast.
Ooh,
Raising the key.
ooh, ooh,
There's room for all among the
love
loved the most.
Ooh, 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 ooh,
There ain't no room
ooh,
for the hopeless sinner.
to save his own.
Just feel this, y'all.
Ooh,
The pity on those whose
ooh,
chances grow thinner. But there's no hiding place
against the
kingdom's throne.
Ooh, 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 ooh. So
People get ready. There's a change a coming.
you
Don't need no baggage. You just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the Jesus coming.
Thank the Lord.
You got faith and just thank the Lord. With appreciation, you'll thank the Lord. With gratitude, you can thank
The
the Lord. As we thank him now and bid you find peace,
Peace.
which stands for proper education, always corrects error.
Error. Can we see both of us, please?
There you go. I love it.
Love
Peace
y'all.
out. We do love it. Okay, y'all, that's it. I'm gonna go after.
Oh, you made it to the end of the video.
Why are you doing
So I
this?
make it
Literally unplugged and plugged it back in.
All right, y'all, we did it.
We did do it.
Plug it back.
Like, share, subscribe. You go to the sites that we have.
You gotta make sure it's selected on the headphones on the
And the ancestors
volume
are
thing over
kind
there.
Thanks.
for having us on your mind.
Yes, baby. Good, good.
Yeah.
Laptop is lagging.
Woo!
You see it lagging?
The what?
Ow.
Is it
Ow.
lagging?
Ow. Ow.
Yeah.
Good time.
Ow.
I don't know what's going on.
Ow.
Just in time.
Okay.
We gotta play it from now on. Before we start, we gotta play it, make sure it's working.
Did you hit something?
Huh?
Did you hit